Hello everyone, odedex here, welcome to episode 98 of my S02E98 Let's Play. So I've been fiddling around a little bit with this little contraption that I made here. If you missed my past episode, this is my automatic track creation system, creating both normal tracks and booster tracks. So at the end of the previous episode, I set some ratio regarding to how many iron ingots and gold ingots and redstone do I have here at any given point. And the ratio, by the way, was wrong. I said it should have been 81 iron to 12 gold to 4 redstone. It actually should have been 81 iron to 12 gold to 16 redstone. I forgot that you actually need some redstone in the creation of the actual advanced trails and only treated them as you need them, the redstone in here. And I also added, you can see a cover here. There is the tube coming from the bottom to the top, and there is a cover right here, which basically seals off the output of the rolling machine from the tubes, because even though that's an output slot and most machines have that output slot blocked from any possible inputs like tubes or pipes, usually, as always, red power and some other mods hate each other and you actually have to manually block it, otherwise it will try to occupy this slot, which is bad. So that's it. At the moment, currently the way the system is backed up by the lack of wooden ties, so that's kind of fixing itself slowly, but overall that's that. Now the thing is, why do I have chunk thingies online? Okay, so got those lines fixed. Now that's actually something that you should have mentioned. The DRF20 pack has been updated since my previous episode. It's now version 5.2.1. So there are actually applied energy sticks. That was the new thing that was added. Basically, let's filter out by doing this, mod and shift left click. There you see. There you go. There you go. So those are all the new items that are related to applied energy sticks. A very brief and short overview. This mod heavily deals with inventory management, and someone had said that it can very easily replace logistics pipes, and I actually have a lot of plans for this, so I'm gonna look into it, but not yet. For the time being, I'm gonna stick with what I have and first finish my truck placement project. Now, what I wanted to say is I actually changed the way this regulator works. So since it's connected directly to an inventory, you can also use that slot of the regulator and change the mode to this button, which basically tells it that no matter what, always keep a stack of gold, a stack of iron, and a stack of redstone in that ender chest, or basically in that chest. And I decided to go for that instead of the ratio because since I have some kind of a large backlogs of everything, and also since the regulator will not operate as long as the specific ratios are not met, I may actually, I'm double quoting here, miss some potential gold or redstone or iron while I'm waiting for other materials to reach the specific ratio to go through, while those are still needed. And when you think about it, the ratio is a lot more critical in regard to the track placement and management, and inventory management, but not the actual track creation. So it's completely unnecessary to manage that, even though coming up with the exact ratio is kind of fun, it's unnecessary. And I also changed the filter here to also take redstone, because obviously since I forgot, this rolling machine also requires it. This one also makes sure there is redstone available here. And that chest may eventually get filled up, but hopefully it will be fine. It's the problem with rolling machines that hate any type of buffer other than chests, so hopefully that won't be too much big of an issue in the future. For the time being, it's gonna simply have to do. Okay, so just a quickly brief tangent. I finally got the Arcane Bee, and the Arcane Bee is the second half of the Stark Bee, which is the second to the Supernatural Bee. So a combination of the Supernatural and the Arcane Bee will create the Stark Bee that I'm so looking for. However, I'm missing one crucial step, and it's to breed it next to an ore node. Now, there are two solutions to this. At the time being, I'm going to go for the easier one, and it's simply to breed it near an ore node. Let me find where are my goggles to actually locate the ore nodes. I actually plan to start moving aura nodes around, and actually made a tutorial about this if you're interested in regarding to how you can easily move them. There is actually a mechanic in Thumbcraft, pretty much the most advanced mechanic when you think about it, right at the bottom of the Thumbnomicon. There we go, this one, the basic aura manipulation, that lets you, gives you the tools on actually moving the aura nodes around. There we go, here's one, and I think, you know what, I'm gonna try and, oh wait, that's the evil type of nodes, I think, so that's not very good for me. You know what, let's try it here. Let's see, even if those bees like it, they might have some very high expectations. So let's try and get 3 of those, and let's just steal 3 from here. Let's take, let's see, let's pick the best that I can find of the type of bee. And basically the thing is, I can't actually yet move the aura node, but I don't know if those bees can be bred into the jungle. So that's the kind of the question mark, the big question mark that I'm not sure about. So let's have 3 apiaries. I will need some more frames. That's gonna have to do. Let's BLize all of them. So I only want to try and get purebred arcane. So that's pure. That's also pure. That's also pure. That's mysterious. That's also good. That's good. Okay, that's half mysterious. That's bad. That's also good. Okay, so all pretty good. Only one bad one. So I do have 3 priestesses. So let's combine it with 3 supernatural drones. Those are esoteric. Those are arcane. Where are my supernatural ones? Charmed, enchanted, supernatural. Okay, I want to go for pure supernatural. This is 1, this is 3 more, and this is good enough. Let's hope that they can actually be bred here. So this, supposedly, that's a mini jungle, so let's see if that's good enough. Place down the apiaries and combine the arcane princess with the supernatural drone. Let's see if they complain or not. I have a feeling that they will. Oh, no sky. That's understandable. Okay. Yeah, hostile environment. I guess they cannot operate in a mini jungle. Nearby, however, that's green swamplands. Is that good enough? Let's see. Hopefully it is. Nope, hostile environment, and that's mini jungle, same. And I guess in the mountainous desert that will still be a problem. Yep, oh wait, that sky obstructed again, so... Okay. Yeah, hostile environment. Okay, so it's kind of pointless at the moment. So I got everything that I need except for the actual Stark bee and the aura node to start moving aura nodes to be able to breed it. So again, another project is going to have to wait until I finish my tracks because I'd like to finish it first. I don't like having a project half made and just stop in the middle of them. Then I forget what I really wanted to do. And I could... in theory, I could actually try and simply breed them here, but I have a feeling that it's not going to work. It clearly states that you should try and breed it. Sorry, you shouldn't try. You clearly state you need to breed it near a node. And actually, you're gonna need those nodes anyway for the future bees as well. The mutations out of the Stark bee will also require to have a node. So moving one at some point is a good thing, no matter how you look at it. Okay, so let's get started with the track placement. So what I'm going to need, I already have, let's get rid of this, and the goggles, I can also store them. Okay, so I already have everything, all the crafting automated, sort of, at least as far as I'm concerned. I only need to move it to the other age, sort it into possibly, most likely an assembler, the thing that I use in my tree farm, and just design the logic to actually place that. So let me get everything that I need, hopefully, and we can get started. Alright, so hopefully I've got everything that I need, but as usual with those things, you simply just don't know. Okay, so first thing, I'd like to shut off the core itself, so there are no sudden movements where I don't expect them, because remember that every time this thing goes forward, so is my upper platform back there. So I'd like to disable that. Okay. So, okay, so the first thing is to remember that I'm gonna place tracks every time this moves forward. So it's not a very long period of time, but of course I'm not planning to do this every time. Like I'm not in a hurry to make this as the moment I get a tick. I can just do it after this finishes moving. Bleh. Okay, so I have a very nice feature of the state cell that it will actually emit a signal once it reaches the 3 seconds mark. So that's a very nice timing to actually start my next part in the logic. I'm going to complete the logic first and only then set up the rest of the actual track placement system. So let me quickly expand this here to hopefully whatever is going to be the required amount of frames. And yeah, let me quickly take care of that. Okay, so this looks relatively pretty good. Alright, so first let's connect the signal from my state cell to a red alloy wire and connect it to a counter, because obviously I'm going to need to count. So I'm going to count to 8. Is that the number that I want to count to? Go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I'm going to go to 9. Okay, so 9 cycles of 9. Whenever it reaches the critical area, may you want to change this? Okay, simply it's gonna have to do. Okay, so the moment it reaches the critical area, it's gonna first reset itself, in addition to also doing something else. So let's actually change this into magenta wire, and let's move this a little bit so I have some room to do stuff. I'd rather not expand if I can help it. Okay, so this will also feed into a state cell. Where's my state cell? Come on, I brought another state cell. Didn't I bring another state cell? Come on, really? You gotta be kidding me. Let me get that. Okay, so that white signal is also going to feed into a state cell in a very specific way. So that state cell, I'm going to need to lock it, and the entry point is that section right here, and it's going to be locked like... Okay, let's move it. Now, by the way, this is something I kind of scribbled the design on a piece of paper, but didn't actually build it, so I'm making this as I go along. This to become a not gate, and this is... What? How is this sending a signal? That doesn't make sense. Can I actually accept a signal from here as well? That's new. Okay, so I'm going to need an additional repeater. I did bring an extra one that I did not actually plan on using. Okay, so let's change that a little bit. So let's have state cell here, like this. Okay, a repeater to isolate the signal, and not gate to change the signal, and an AND gate. AND gate, AND gate, AND gate. Disable the white input, the right one, and connect this, and this will be this wire, this will be this wire, and they all be bundled together into one single output. Is there a way I could test that? Yes, there is actually. I'm just going to need a timer, which obviously did not bring. Let me quickly get one. Okay, so let's give it a quick test. Just placing some open wire will be good enough of an identification to make sure that it works as intended. So let's place some blue alloy wire. And signaling from here shouldn't make any difference whatsoever. So just place the timer and let it do its thing. Let it first reset itself because it had some unexpected behavior. Okay, just already noticed the problem. This shouldn't have ticked. Why did it tick? This should have locked it in place, the state cell, but yeah, it's slightly too late. Let's add another repeater here to fix this. Remember, this entire logic system will work like once every 5 minutes or so, every 5 Minecraft minutes. So it's really doesn't have to be perfect. I really have some issues with the locking mechanism. The repeater here creates the delay, and it's too much of a problem. Oh, it's still happening. Okay, the idea here is basically very similar to what I did in the actual logic here, except for not making it so much complicated. I want to send the white signal, or the purple signal for that matter, 8 times, and then send a white signal without sending a purple signal. That keeps happening, which I really don't like. Why is this happening? If I make the delay longer, does it help? I have a feeling that it won't. The fact that it's delayed is not a problem. It makes no difference if it will go slightly slower or slightly faster. The problem is that the fact that they both tick. The white ticks and then the purple ticks, and I don't need that. Okay, there we go. Let's give it some more extensive testing. Let's go for this. Okay, so white, and the purple didn't tick, so purple, 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 white. There we go. Now it's better. So let's make it 9 again, and let's actually count to make sure that it's fine. Just gonna need to let it reset first. And I can make sure that it's the ratio of 8 to 1. So 8 magenta ticks after 1, so 1 magenta tick, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the white tick. There we go. So logic perfected. Now to actually utilize the logic, and obviously disconnected from the timer because the actual signal will not be a timer. That will be the actual this thingy here. Because remember, I only place a track only after I actually moved the thing. And the state cell here will be delayed by 3 seconds before the actual, after the actual movement, or not 3 seconds, maybe 2 seconds, but it will have a significant delay after the actual movement, so that's fine. That's taking care of that. Okay, so let's start worrying about the actual track placement. Can start conserving a little bit more frames because I may need them. I will first need the actual docking station, so this frame area, I'm going to collect all of those. There. Okay, so let's first start by creating the actual docking system. Now, however it's offset, it doesn't really matter, so let's just make it a little bit closer to that area right over here. It's simply going to require some way to go up. Now the plan is actually to just, I'm not planning to go back. I plan to actually eventually have also a linking book on that section right here, so I can directly go back to the overworld from that area. So let's just start by making the stop. So I brought some tracks with me. Let's just elevate one block. And to actually place tracks, I think I'm gonna need, yeah, I'm still gonna need those panels. So one panel here, one panel here. Let's have one track here. The booster track here will be unpowered, so it slows down. Basically, from here going forward, that's actually a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be. Because I thought about making a loop to actually go back, but it's completely unnecessary. Just need to dock and that's it. Okay, so from here there will be the actual track placement system. So let's figure this out. Let's also make sure. Actually, just thought about one more thing that may be a problem. Will require some fixing. Okay. So booster tracks, actually forgot the fact that booster tracks need the redstone signal to stay boosted. So that's actually quite a big thing that's going to need to be changed. Is there some sort of track with railcraft that doesn't need to be turned on? There might be, but just going all over them right now is kind of silly. Yeah, it's gonna take some time. We're gonna need to work around that. Okay, so actually, oh no, it's no problem. Okay, so I'm going to do one cover, which obviously I forgot to bring. Let's get one. Okay, so let's have a cover here. That cover will be separating this rest of the frame machine from the rest of everything, so this can be broken as well. And let's start placing this. Now again, I did not design it pre-handed, so some things may be not as you may expect them to. So actually forgot to make an assembler. Yeah, that's silly. Let me quickly make one. Okay, so the idea here is to have a deployer here, an assembler here. That deployer will be simply fed from a filter, filtering out from here, out of a white ender chest. Let's modify an old red chest to be white, and white. It will simply be filtering out cobblestone, and cobblestone alone, nothing else. It's gonna need some redstone signal, of course, but that's gonna be taken care of later. Of course, coupled with the fact that this deployer right now needs a redstone signal as well. The assembler will be connected via color coding in the way that it either receives a white signal or a purple signal, just the same way I've used it in my tree farm. So I can connect it just like this and tell that a white signal will be a booster track and a magenta signal will be a normal track. And we can just, is that magenta or purple now? That's magenta, that's purple, and that's magenta. Alright, so on magenta, normal track. Okay, now fitting the actual, this deployer here, whoops, okay, that's actually fine. Fitting that deployer here with cobblestone is just here to actually make sure that I have the signal to basically just to have the block to place the actual assembler on. So that's not as important. The more important is the assembler itself. So I'm going to actually manually fit it with some complicated logic here to make sure that it always has the necessary amount of tracks and booster tracks. Now remember that this chest is already regulated to have the right ratios, so that's not a problem. So directly from the chest here, I can simply regulate it using a regulator, of course, in a very simple way. Now I'm thinking whether or not I want to place it on this side or on this side. What do you say? What do you think? I'm also going to some covers here, by the way. Okay, let's try and regulate it from here. Now I want to have a nice landing zone, or let's have it on. Okay, let's regulate it from here. So this will be a regulator. Now I think, let's try and have a transposer connected directly. It might not work. We're gonna find out right now. Right from here. Now that regulator is gonna make sure there is always a full stack of booster tracks and a full stack of tracks. Now remember, this doesn't have to be regulated. This storage is already regulated, so that's not an issue. So I have the same thing that they did there. Make sure it's at that stocking stuff, and let's see if the transposer here can directly connect to the inventory face. It may not. Yeah, it needs to have an actual tube in between, otherwise it doesn't connect. Yep, there we go. Let me quickly get a tube. Okay, so got the tube. Just place it down. I don't know if I need a panel for a tube, but there is no harm in doing that. So place the tube here, place the transposer here, place that ender chest again here, and apply a timer. Okay, I think the problem is that that inventory doesn't recognize the fact that it can accept both tracks. So let's have one of each in that. Yeah, okay, now it will work. Will it work without a tube then? I guess that was the problem. That will be a nice thing to test. Nope. Okay, good thing I tested it though. At least now I can sleep easy. So replace the tube, transposer, and ender chest, and timer. Now the timer will always run whenever this inventory will have the necessary amount of tracks. Just like now, it will simply pull out booster tracks instead, or at least it should. Does it need to be a filter? I think it actually does. Or is it because there was a sudden change in the inventory where it shouldn't have happened? Nope, I need a filter. Okay, so replacing the transposer with the filter should solve that problem. If I tell that it can pull either normal tracks or booster tracks one at a time, that should solve the problem in theory. Now this one has full of tracks, this one can accept both booster tracks and normal tracks, so doing this I guess I may need another filter altogether. It gets filled up. Yeah, they can't be both pulling the same, I guess. Okay, so it might seem like an odd solution, but in my mind that's an actually much easier solution. So let's remove this, place another chest that will be recolored exactly the same. So it's yellow in the middle and it's white on the sides. Oh wait, it should have been gray. Okay, so I got hopefully the right colors this time. There we go. So same chest, same inventory. This one will pull tracks. This one will pull booster tracks. They're gonna be connected very ugly. Aww. I hate when those kind of things happen. Really, I just despise it. How can I work around it? Can I cheat and make the white signal think it should happen every single time? Nope. I can do something else though. Okay, this gonna need to be a bundled cable. It's gonna have to be a bundled cable. It cannot be a white cable because it cannot connect to the filter. It can in theory, it makes no harm, but it shouldn't. I'm going to need some jacketed wire in here. and change those tubes to redstone tubes. Okay, so changing the tubes to redstone tubes. And add jagged wire. Add red alloy wire. Add the timer. And now there shouldn't be any problem. This can go even less than 1. There's really no need whatsoever. Okay, so there you have it. It should keep the ratios pretty good. At the moment it's limited by the fact that I don't have enough tracks in my overworld crafting network, that it's still being limited by the lack of creosote oil, eventually. But remember that this thing will only move once every 5 minutes or so, and by that time it should be fine. It should be relatively fine. Okay, so this will make sure that I keep getting filled up with the right tracks, and this will make sure that I place the right tracks. Now, the deployer here will place the cobblestone to fill that, to place that additional line that's going to keep going forward and forward and forward. I'm going to need some more covers here actually, assuming I'm going to still need those frames. But now I realized I was missing one more thing, and that's the fact that every time I'm placing a booster track, I'm also going to need a redstone signal. Now, since this frame is going on that side, the easiest way to do it is actually, in my mind, just go over to the other side and take care of that from that side. However, since the episode has been going on for the right length so far, that's something that I'm going to keep to the next episode and actually think about it in between, so I'm going to have time to figure out how exactly do I want to get this done and not have any more surprises midway. So as always, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.